What's up, my friends? Coming to you today, another day. Yeah, a little furry, looking like Grizzly Adams. I know I told you guys I was going to shave, but had a busy weekend. Hung out with my kids for a long time. Really didn't spend no time ripping and running or driving around. Just hung out with my kids. But guess I'm just going to come to you guys today about. I guess the post is going to be about time. There's a lot of different versions. There's a lot of different views. There's a lot of different points of time. Uh, I guess there's a lot of different arguments. One is, at what point do you consider yourself old or older? You know, I mean, because no age actually makes you an adult. You could be 100 years old and still not an adult, if you get what I'm saying. It's some really, really elderly people that are immature and still haven't grasped what it meant or what it means to be an adult. Taking responsibility for your actions is one aspect of being an adult. Another aspect of not being an adult is always blaming somebody else for what you're going through or your own downfalls or just your own personality. I dealt with this one lady, every time, like back and forth, we went up and down with when we dated each other, and every time we split, it was always my fault that we split. Well, that's what she tried to make it seem. It was always my fault that we split, but it was always behind something that she had invented in her own mind. Some people hear things. I'm not going to say you're a schizophrenic or nothing like that because I do believe in demons, and demons can't whisper in your ear and make you think that you heard what you think you have heard. So I don't want to be the person that calls another person crazy, or what do they say, the kettle calling the pot black, or however that saying goes. But time and time again, and came up on this aspect to the point where I'm just like, dude, I'm done with that situation. I changed my number to not deal with that situation. Things happen. But the reason I brought up time was we don't have it to waste. That's one thing we can never, ever, ever get back, no matter how many mistakes we make, no matter how many positive things we do, no matter how many accomplishments we make, we can never get time back. That's the only thing that can be spent and not returned. Another thing is a certain echelon of money. Some people look at things as like, I had $1,000 and I lost it. Don't worry, I'll get it back. How would you get it back? The $1,000 is gone. If you got another $1,000, you would have 2,000 if you didn't lose the first one. If you get what I'm kind of trying to say or trying to lead you towards, it's like once something is lost, you don't gain it back. You get another thing back. The only thing you can gain back is love, trust, and understanding. They're the only things you can gain back in life. One of the main points of this post was I got a buddy out there and he was really close with this lady and she passed on to a new place. I have an auntie who I was really close to and she passed on to a new place. We have to take time out of our own lives to grasp ourselves back into reality, because the reality of the situation is they're never going to go through what we're going through right now. They don't have to feel the pain that they were going through when they were still on this plane. They don't have to go through the ups and downs, the letdowns, the ridicule, the talk bad about behind the back, the stabbing, the conniving. They won't have to do none of that. Along with those, happiness does come. Life is not all about pain, but the pain that we go through that sometimes we wish we could never experience, they won't experience that anymore. Instead of that, they'll go on to better and bigger places, because we have to know in our hearts that we love them enough and care for them enough that we held no anger, no hatred, no malice towards them, so they can walk across that gate beautifully and happily. Because that's one thing that we got to realize in life. We spend all this time behind hating something or wanting to destroy something or wanting to bring something down or even lying to ourselves about not being judgmental, but the whole time we're quick to judge. We have to be held accountable for each of those things, and we have to ask for forgiveness and then give forgiveness as well. I mean, it's a little line inside, I guess you could say, the old prayer that says, forgive us of our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. How do you think you get to heaven? You don't get into heaven still holding on to hatred. You don't get into heaven still holding on to disliking somebody. You don't get into heaven feeling like you can't forgive somebody. You have to forgive everybody in your life, just like they have to forgive you. And you don't know that. You don't pay attention to it because you're too busy living your life to realize that love is unconditional. And to truly love somebody, you have to love everybody and yourself as well. But all that is due to the Lord. You have to give him thanks. Which brings me to my next topic. I'm sorry if I've been rambling, people. I'm sorry. But one of these topics to me, like, everybody has to have their own interpretation of the Bible. My interpretation of something was, it said he created the world in 7 days. Or was it 6 days? Or on the seventh day, he rested. Okay, whether or not. Okay, my thing is this. If God or Allah or Buddha or whoever you sit there and worship to really break down your religion, really look at your facts and see that all of them are the same religion. All of them are based on the same religion, the original beliefs, all of it. Now, with that being said, okay, if this entity, if this God, if this loving being that created us has lived since the beginning of time and has already seen the ending of time, what is time to that being? For example, when you get sick, I mean, like, not just sick, like achoo, runny nose. I'm talking when you're really sick and you're just like, I can't take this no more. I'd rather just die. I can't take this no more. It's too much to bear. When you're really that sick, or toothaches, or headaches, whatever, that pain that you felt that you just couldn't deal with anymore in life. Do you remember that pain? How long did that pain actually last in the expansion of your life? It was just like a flicker, right? During the time, it seemed like forever. But now I'm thinking back, that was back when you were 13, or hey, I'm 36 now. That was back when I was 34. That was so long ago, and it lasted so short. It's nothing in comparison to how long you've existed. Now just think about that. Now, to a being that lives forever and just lives, doesn't age, it exists on all planes. It's omnipotent, omnipresent, through time, right? What is it? What is a day to him? Or my bad, what is a billion years to that person? That's like a day, or maybe an hour, or maybe a second, because they live forever. They have no grasp of how long time is. We grasp time with the shortness of our life. That's how we actually measure time, because we have a shortness in our life. Now imagine a being that doesn't have shortness in their life. They don't measure time. So to give you some type of grasp of their power, they might throw out there a day, 2 days, 3 days. But to that being, is 1 day a billion years? And if so, maybe it took God 7 billion years to build earth and build humans and give us what we have. But the thing that also floats my boat about all this stuff is really funny to me is, as human beings, we're so deluded into thinking that we're the greatest thing ever that we don't even think that God can create other creatures, other beings, other stages of life, or other beings that live. For example, an angel was not of earth. The devil was not of earth. But human beings are of earth. So would that be considered an alien species? I don't know. Something to ponder on. But I'm going to think about it. I'm going to put it onto my brain. I hope you put it onto your brain. I'll be back at you guys a little later today. I got to get to work. I got a customer pulling up right now. So like I used to always tell you guys, I work for the airport. I seen things take off. But being false to others ain't going to fly. Love y'all.